So today I want to talk about Modern Warfare 2 suffering from some serious issues with player retention and people leaving the game, and my personal issue with the game, and it's pretty bad. So as of lately, I've been mainly covering Modern Warfare 2 when playing on my Steam Deck. That is my personal reason for playing this game. I know that people want to see this game being played on the Steam Deck. If there's anything I've learned while making Steam Deck videos, it's that people actually care to see it on here. People enjoy watching me play on a handheld device, and I enjoy playing on a handheld device. That is my overall motivation, purpose, and incentive for playing the game. And then while I'm playing the game, I am simultaneously earning things in the game so that I feel like when I'm making my videos, I'm earning something in the game. And that is why I chose to do the weapon mastery camos and grind the weapons. But the problem is that seems to be the only reason for people to play this game at the moment. People are either playing this game to earn all of the weapon camos and level up their guns for Warzone, but right now people are not enjoying Warzone, so they're not even doing that. They don't care to level up their guns to play them in Warzone, and they don't care to really work towards something in a game that they're not enjoying, so they're just not playing at all. That is for people that like Warzone. And then for people that are playing Modern Warfare 2 just to play Modern Warfare 2, there's no real incentive for players to play Modern Warfare 2. Like I said, I play to showcase the game on the Steam Deck. That's my personal reason. Not everyone's a content creator. Not everyone cares to showcase the game for anything or play the game for any other reason. And players like to play games and earn something from the game. If the game's not genuinely fun on its own, like if you're not getting together with your friends and just playing the game to level up and just max out the game because it's actually fun to play, then they're just not going to play at all, right? And then if the player doesn't care about weapon camos, they're not going to play shoot house or shipment 24/7 just to get those things. So they're kind of singling or funneling their audience and catering towards people that just want to level up their guns and earn camos. They're not really caring what happens to the rest of the player base, which most of them are leaving because they don't have a reason to play the game. They don't like the incentive the game has to offer, which is to play the game for Warzone or for grinding camos. They want to hop on and have fun, but they're dividing their community because maybe, at least in my friend group, what's happening is some of us care about grinding the weapons and the weapon camos to play Warzone or whatever, and then some of us just simply want to play for enjoyment. And when if I hop in here and I just want to level up my gun for weapon camos, right? And my friend just wants to play a match of Search and Destroy. It doesn't mesh well. If I'm playing with him, I'm going to be crouching in the corner of the map, and I'm going to be going after these challenges, and I'm going to affect the rest of the team, and we're not going to be playing for the same overall reason, and it's not going to be enjoyable because we're not playing for the sake of competing. So we don't have a common incentive, especially if he's just playing for fun and I'm playing for a greater reason in the game, which then that means, okay, I don't even want to play with you anymore because you just want to play Search and Destroy, and I want to grind these weapons. So I'm going to hop into shoot house shipment by myself and drive away my friends from wanting to play with me, or they're not going to play because they're not going to want to play Search and Destroy by themselves. So we're butting heads now, and you should want to play with your friends for a common reason, for a common goal. They need to find a way to mesh those things together. If my friend wants to play Search and Destroy and I want to grind camos, but I don't want to crouch or lay down or do any of the dumb stuff that you do to get camos, be laying on the back of the map to get long shots the whole game, there needs to be a way that I can play Search and Destroy with my friend and he's not being affected by me trying to grind the camo. Maybe me simply playing and winning rounds of Search and Destroy can earn me the same thing in the end. And there needs to be something that allows people to play together and just have a reason to play the game that doesn't single one person out and affect the rest of the player group, right? That's the main issue that I have when it comes to me and my friends playing together. The other thing is the game in general is catering towards people grinding the camo, so they're putting shoot house or shipment so constantly. They're swapping back and forth because most people are just playing for that reason and ignoring the rest of the playlist. Their main goal is to level up those guns, get those camos. They're playing shoot house or shipment because it's the fastest way to do it. It's separating people from playing the rest of the game. One thing I do like, though, that they did right was they just need to do more of this, is what I think. They need to do what they did with DMZ and spread it across the board with the rest of the game. In DMZ, you can play DMZ and earn an operator, you can earn the M13, you can do things by simply playing that mode, which then drives people into that mode and playing with their friends. And if there's already an existing player that likes DMZ, they're going to get something out of it. And then if there's a player visiting simply to complete that objective, they might like that game mode and might want to come back to play that game mode. They need to spread that concept across the game. If I'm playing Search and Destroy, maybe there's an overall objective that playing enough Search and Destroy will give you, other than an emblem or a title. Maybe there's an operator or a weapon skin or a camo or something in Search and Destroy that Search and Destroy players will feel rewarded for, and players that don't play Search and Destroy, maybe they like that item and they'll play Search and Destroy correctly and with a common goal of just winning and playing the game to earn that thing. And maybe if they like Search and Destroy enough by the end of it, they'll just play in general more Search and Destroy because they enjoyed it. Just the general concept of competing and playing the game. That is clearly not happening. The player bases are all freaking divided. It's all bad. People are playing for their own selfish reason, or they're not playing at all because they don't care about that reason enough. Even the battle pass, it lets you decide which way you're going, right? Which is great. Maybe you want that black helicopter or that black Jeep because you're going to see those things and what you use most of your time in, playing Warzone or DMZ or somewhere where you're going to actually see those skins. You're going to go after that. That's cool. But then if the main thing that your players are doing is going after camos, why would you not put a seasonal camo at the end of your battle pass? Just makes no sense to me. And then even then, if they're playing the game and there's a camo that's locked to the battle pass, at least playing Search and Destroy with their friend, they're leveling this battle pass at the same time to reach something that they actually will want and like. It's just very weird to me how what this game has become. It's just like a weapon gun simulator. Mind you, this is the portion of the game that you pay for, but it's the most not useful part of the game in terms of like enjoyability. You should want to play a game because it's fun and because you're getting something out of the game, for the game, within the game, and that is not taking place. You're getting these camos and these things and all this stuff for an external reason. In my case, it's to make videos. In other people's cases, it's to play Warzone. We're not playing for the sake of playing the game and enjoying the game in specific. And that is a problem. They need to generalize an overall goal that any kind of player and all kinds of players can all work towards and play and enjoy and still get something out of whatever they're doing in the game. It needs to cross over the same way that DMZ, the M13, crosses over and you can use it in multiplayer. Maybe they need to just do that with the entire game. And also they need to not use and recycle things that people have seen and done time and time and over again. We've seen Shoot House, we've seen Shipment. These are things from other games. This should not be what's carrying your game currently forward, right? They should have some originality to their game. Like, give us things that are not in other games that make us want to play this game for this game. Like, give us a map that's small in this game, or use Vanguard strategy. If you know people like fast-paced modes, why aren't we seeing a playlist option like Vanguard did, where you can select it, like you can filter the pace. If you want more tactical matches, you go into less players and more tactical modes. If you want fast-paced matches, it's more objective-based modes like hardpoint or domination, but you can play those with 10 players on the map, 12 players on the map. Then you're not just relying on just 2 maps to carry your game. You can use the rest of your game and the rest of the maps that are in the game to carry your game forward and to give people, you know, the dopamine and the satisfaction of playing fast-paced, large-scale combat. Use that to your advantage. Use the Warzone map. Use it for, you know, they use it for, I guess, is it Ground War? They use it for DMZ, and then Ground War maps are bigger maps and turn into smaller maps. Use those things to create those scenarios where you can get into larger scale, fast-paced combat and have those be the things that you have as a featured option rather than just using Shoot House and Shipment over and over and over and over again, because it's old, it's boring, it's not original, and it's driving people away from your game. At least then, if you have those secondary options that are fun, even if you are grinding weapons, even if you're going after those challenges, you might have a friend that tags along with you and you're both having fun at this point. You're not being separated or singled out. Like, there needs to be more crossover and enjoyability for the game and purpose for playing the game. Shoot House and Shipment are ruining the game as it stands. There's nothing more I can say. Look at this guy. That's not a guy. That's freaking inflatable. When this game was in beta, there were no weapon camos. There were no weapons to like go after. People were just playing because it was fun, because it was new, it was refreshing. They need to find more ways to refresh their game, to feature things that are more original and enjoyable, and playing the game simply for the sake of playing the game rather than locking yourself into a grind simulator for no reason. Okay, where is everybody? Like me, I started the weapon camo grind, and I'm simply doing it from time to time when I'm playing alone, when I have nothing to do, or when I'm making a video, because it gives me something to work towards. But not everyone wants to play for any specific reason other than to enjoy their time playing with friends. And if you can't even do that with your friends, which is what happened in my case, we had a friend group that played the beta, that played the beginning of the game when it launched. There were no weapon camo like or weapon battle pass grind or any of that. It was just you play the game because it's fun. Same thing with the other games that came before Modern Warfare 2019. People played because they wanted to play Call of Duty with their friends. It was fun. It was competitive. You were playing for the sheer enjoyment of the game, which is not what's happening anymore. There was no Warzone back then to, carry the game and have that be the reason for people to play the game. I'm level 242 and I max out my battle pass, and I don't even know one single reward that I really care for or that speaks to me. I just kind of accidentally did it by grinding this thing. And that's the problem with this, when there's these big developers making games and have to meet a quota and have to have their players stay in the game. They're just thinking about how long can we keep this player playing the game doing something that is probably not even fun, when they could get that same result over time if they just worked on making an enjoyable game that gave everyone a reason to want to play the game. Am I on push to talk? I feel like I'm just speaking my mind into this mic, and I'm on open mic. Jesus, everyone's just hearing me rant about the game. But I think it would be healthier and an overall more positive effect on the game if the game was just fun and they did things for us to enjoy the game rather than just to think about how long they can keep us playing one thing, which is why we have Shoot House and Shipment. They're milking it. They are like, this is what worked. This is what kept players playing our game. Let's make 53 guns and let's make all the camos obtainable in the same way, because you're rinsing and repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again to get those weapon camos and these guns. So let's just use that and have the people that care about that player game and have them be the longest lasting people in the game, when they could bring more people into the game if there were other things to do in the game that were just generally fun, or if they give people objectives that mesh well together, that allow teams to play the game together. Because I'm more likely to play this game with a team that enjoys the game than to play the game by myself to grind the guns. When their focus is to keep players in those playlists, funneling them into just grinding the weapons because that's the main incentive, then that's not as enjoyable as me if there was a grander purpose in playing the game as a team and playing the modes for what they are. That's why you get so many people playing these modes and they're not even doing the objectives. They're really just playing to do their camos, to do whatever. They're not playing the game to play that playlist. We need things that will allow us to play this game and enjoy the playlist that we're in without thinking about our teammate grinding the weapon camo and taking away from the teamwork aspect of the game. That's why they have CDL mosh pit. I guess that's what that's supposed to do, but I guarantee you go in there and there's probably still people grinding weapons. And another thing, they put these at the same time, right? What if I can earn XP or weapon XP or weapon challenges that give me camos just as fast while playing primary objectives, while actually participating in that game mode, enjoying that game mode for what it is, instead of sidetracking myself in the middle of a hardpoint match, laying in the back of the map, not helping my team. That affects how other people play the game, and that then leads to them not enjoying the game because they're in a match with a bunch of players that aren't actually playing the game. They're just playing the game to, for their own selfish reason, and it just takes away from why people play Call of Duty. You should be playing because you enjoy playing as a team. You enjoy the guns, the gunplay, everything about it is fun. Like, the game has things that are good, that work well and better than any other shooter. The weapon mechanics, the amount of weapons in the game is great. Like, we have some of the best visually and satisfying and mechanically good gameplay that could go into a shooter, and it's not being used to its fullest potential, and it's driving players away from the game because they just are not having fun. We need to find ways, or they need to find ways to make this game fun for everyone and not cater towards their main reason for people playing their game, for Warzone or for camos. It's ridiculous. We didn't have those two reasons before. We need to not have those reasons again, and then give people reasons to come back that are not those two reasons so that they keep playing the game. Give team-based players, friend groups that like the game, reasons to play together. My friends don't care about tagging along for 85 rounds of shipment or shoot house when they're not, getting anything out of it. They don't care about the weapon camos. But here we are running around brain dead as hell, trying to get as much kills as we can and crouch as much as we can to get those weapon camos, when we need an incentive equally as big as the drive for people getting those weapon camos in other parts of the game. Like I said before, meshing goals, giving people an overall goal that will give them the same result. Like the Battle Pass is a great example of this. You can play any part of Call of Duty, any game mode, quick play, third person, control, shoot house, anything you play in the game Warzone will give you rewards in the Battle Pass. They need to spread that across the game and allow us to change the challenges catering to those modes. Like if I can, instead of going for 35 long shots, maybe while you're playing Search and Destroy, that challenge converts to winning a specific number of rounds in Search and Destroy. Like filter the challenges based on the mode. That's just like a concept I came up with on the fly, but that would then give people a reason to actually play the game mode how you're supposed to and still feel rewarded and get something that they personally want out of the game, and not affect how their friends are playing the game or view the game or enjoying the game, because then you're all focused on one common thing and being rewarded equally. These are some of the concepts I came up with on the fly, like I said, and it's just a quick rant and general opinion I have on the game currently. It needs more incentives for people to want to play the game. It needs to drive an overall, it needs to try to push their players together into completing things rather than separating them and funneling them out into separate individual things, because it doesn't make sense that the paid part of the game is the homework part of the game to then enjoy the free part of the game. It should just be, if you pay for this game, you should want to enjoy and play this game, and that is not happening. That's kind of like the surface level mindset I have for the game. Maybe some people can agree, maybe you don't, maybe you have different ideas that could better the game in the long run, especially when we're supposed to put up with this game for a while. It's not looking good right now. I know there's other people making videos like this probably. I haven't looked at them or looked at even the numbers of what the player retention is or how much players are dropping, but I guarantee you the players that are leaving is because they are not enjoying this game. It is not the same as it once was, and mind you, it's been years and people have been playing this game for years and they get tired of it. But there is a way for this game to survive and be enjoyable if they do things right. And yeah, that's just my opinion. You guys are more than welcome to share your opinions in the comments. You're more than welcome to give feedback as well. And there might be another video like this if I come up with other solutions in my, my opinion, my mindset with the game. I will share those with you later on if there are any others. But for right now, that's all I got. If you enjoyed this, make sure you guys stay tuned for future content. I will be covering this game in the future, covering other games. We are looking at 2023 here. There should be enjoyable things coming this way, but the more gaming becomes a business thing for developers, the less enjoyable they are. That's why most of the games that are fun aren't made by like huge companies right now. And if they are, well, they must be doing something right. That's all I got for now. I will catch you guys on the next one.